Last time on Besiege Bots. I was here. But last time on Besiege Bots.
Trying to whack at him with the hammer, and the hammer is gone. And wait, hold on. The judges seem to say that is a core block KO. It's a core block KO, ladies and gentlemen. And then he goes, right. What are those? Those are sickles. Those are sickles. He is pretty much destroying technology's past. He has still got plenty of fight left in him, but TazBot already clotheslined him and tried just with one destructive swing.
Welcome back to the newest episode of Besiege Bots. I'm back to commentate, and the editor is back to fix the audio issues. Today we have big names from the official BattleBots competing in this episode. Let's see how well their Besiege Bot counterparts perform today. Our first fight begins with Warhead taking on Bronco. Then later on, Tombstone puts a fight up against Razorback. Afterwards, we have the Drum Spinner Yeti taking on the Hammer Grabber combo of the Besieger. Then Vlad the Impaler goes against the Burning Spinner of Torch and Scorch. The box is locked, the lights are on, it's robot fighting time! In the blue square, Dreidel, 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 I made you here to slay. Dreidel, 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 take their breath away. At 213 blocks, here is Warhead. In the red square, after a career of being a penny ride at Walmart in this competition, he keeps the same work ethic on lifting your spirits. Maybe a little too high. And for a different price, payment is after the ride. Here at 168 blocks, it's Bronco. Another fight, another day. Excited once again to see two more bots deck it out. Warhead versus Bronco. They both start to go against one another. Oh man! Bronco tries to get an early hit in, but it doesn't look like it worked. Several of his pieces have fallen off. He tries to flip him over, but it didn't work. Bronco has come off worse in this exchange. Warhead is now seeing his advantage and going after him. Warhead tries to get in for a wallop, and he tries to get him a little bit with his rotating teeth, but Bronco is managing to hold him off just a little bit. Oh man, but two of his wheels go off without a hitch. Warhead now has an advantage in this place, with most of Bronco's mobility down a little bit, but Bronco's still able to keep on his feet and is trying to go, oh man, try to attack again, but Warhead is also giving him another wallop. Most of his offensive capabilities are down. Bronco is shattering to pieces at this moment. Oh, and there goes half of his bot. Now he's trailing around with his guts on the ground and... oh, I just saw it fly. That was a core block KO for Warhead. Warhead has come out on top of this fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, looks like the Spear of War has conquered over the stupid horse. I guess the old saying goes, spears beat horses. Besiege Bots will return after this presentation. In the red square, the Undertaker, Gravedigger, both huge representations of this series. Why not another death-related mascot? Here's the bot they want you to love to hate. His design is not up for debate, weighing in at 157 blocks. It's Tombstone! In the blue square, Crab People, Grab People, here to take you on the wild ride of Flavor Town to show you the bitterness of losing. Weighing in at 136 blocks, here is Razorback! Second fight of the night, Razorback versus Tombstone. Can't wait to see this one get started. I'm glad to see the little gray boy back in action. Both are going towards each other. Ooh, looks like Tombstone didn't risk that first early hit. Razorback decides to go in for the side. Tombstone's got to use those teeth if he's going to take on Razorback. Razorback, as we've all seen before, ladies and gentlemen, in the very first episode, did quite a lot of damage to his opponent. Oh, man! Collide once again. It looks like Razorback has gotten quite a good hit in on Tombstone. Tombstone, several of his teeth have gone off of his blade. Going in towards each other. They seem to be playing this a little bit more tactically. Oh, but Razorback's aggressiveness has gone a little against him. One of his wheels has popped off. Now they're starting to kind of get in edgewise. They're starting to turn in, looking for an aggressive hit. Tombstone is relying, I think, on the 360 hit. And what I mean by that is he's trying to throw all of his weight into one of his punches. But Razorback is taking this at an advantage with his superior mobility. Razorback's trying to flip him over, do something. I'm not sure at this point, but I know for a fact that Tombstone's offensive capabilities are basically down. Oh, and like that, Razorback flips over Tombstone. Tombstone is now on retreat, on defense, on sandwiches to be served to Razorback, whatever you want to call it. I've got to think of a better comeback. And now Razorback's, I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to take off more pieces. Because at this point, it doesn't seem like he's doing enough damage that he may have to wait out the entire time and just try to do as much damage as possible. But it seems like he's trying to do some fancy acrobatics on top of Tombstone. And I'm not sure why, or unless... Oh, wait a minute, folks. Tombstone's core block is exposed on top of the bot. Razorback is probably trying to get on top of him so he can go for it and make this fight end within an instant. But it doesn't seem to be working right now. And if Razorback isn't too careful, Tombstone will be able to drag him across all of the arena, which looks like he's trying to attempt to right now, but Razorback doesn't let him get too far. Now Razorback's trying to go back to the old stratagem. He's trying to get back on him again. But it doesn't work this time. Oh, he gets hit one of his prongs in there. It doesn't. This one wasn't very effective. He gets back into position. Both of them are trying to look for an opening. Razorback gets under him again. He flips over, but it's no good. Also, I've also noticed that Razorback's core block is on the bottom of his bot. If he isn't too careful, if Tombstone hits it just right, he can knock his entire core block out, which would end with his victory. Now, Razorback is trying to still do something. Oh, he flips over Tombstone again, and part of his bot has flown off. Now, in the end, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost time for the match to be over. This could do quite a bit in points for Razorback. And let's see if we can do more damage. Oh, no, just like that, the bell has rung. It looks like it's going to come to a judge's decision on this match. The results from the judges are in. The winner, by unanimous decision, is... Razorback! Besiege bots will return after these messages. For castles close and far, castles big and small, one can conquer them all. Weighing at 221 blocks, long live the swing of the Besieger! In the Red Square, hello, it's your friendly weather reporter Fox saying that we have an average of 180 miles per hour of wind kill. This spot is no joke in the arena, weighing in at 124 blocks. Welcome, Yeti! Alright, third fight of the night. Besieger and Yeti. Both are looking for no compliments in this match. They go towards... Oh! Well, looks like one of Yeti's rollers just completely go off. Oh, there goes the other one. I don't even think Flex Tape could fix those. Those were weak. Yeti, you gotta do some damage here, but... Oh, well, Besieger's hammer also broke too, so I guess that's going for him. And... basically, both their bots have kind of shambled at this point. Yeti, I think, has some structural integrity problems in here, and Besieger's trying to kind of limp around. Both have not come out this very nicely, but it seems Yeti is worse off from this exchange. But then again, Besieger's hammer didn't broke, and I have to say, I don't really like that. And he tries to use it again, and he doesn't really work. Oh, I can see Besieger's core block exposed in the bottom of his bot. If he isn't too careful, it could probably get destroyed. And just like that, Besieger seems to have thrown his hammer back and broken it in the process on top of himself, causing damage to only himself and his broken heart. Now, Yeti has seemed to gain some mobility. Oh man, I didn't realize how fast he was. Now he's trying to use his serrated wheels, I guess, to do some damage, however much he can do with those things. I'm not sure he can do a whole lot, ladies and gentlemen, but that's just my opinion. And who cares about my opinion whenever these guys will actually do something to one another? Unless they won't. That actually proves I'm probably an expert at these things. So, Besieger and Yeti are trying to get some move on, and Yeti's trying to use his wheels, I guess, to knock off random blocks to try to get damage points before the judges, because right now I think he's at a disadvantage. Oh, but Besieger runs into one of the hazards. If Besieger isn't too careful, if he aligns it just right, his core block will be taken out by a hazard, and that would end in a no bueno win for Yeti. But it seems like he's learned his lesson and he's gone a little bit away from the hazards, but it doesn't seem like his mobility is very good at this moment. Something which Yeti is taking full advantage of. He's trying to find some way to do damage to this spot, but right now it isn't working. While Besieger, he can't do a whole lot because of his wheel issues and how much his bot is clanking around. If you can look closely enough at his bot, it's just kind of clunking around. Some of the pieces are going up and down his walking, and that's not good. Now, Yeti is trying once again to get one of his pieces under him so he can, I guess, kind of lift him up, but I don't think that's going to do very much. I don't think he has a whole lot of power to do so. Oh, but Besieger gets a little... Oh, yes, he did get a little too close to the hazard, but he saw his mistake and got off it really quickly. Oh, but it went up again and several of his pieces flew off. Not very much, mind you, but this could mean getting closer to a win for Yeti. Yeti's trying to push him more into it. Oh, he starts to split his bot. That was very close for Besieger. Oh, man, more pieces fly off. That was very close for... Oh, I was about to say that was very close for Besieger, but honestly, the worst has been done. Half of his bot is now gone apart. The bell is rung, and I bet this is going to a judge's decision. Now, if I were to say anything, I bet this would be Yeti's win. The results from the judges are in. The winner by unanimous decision is... Yeti! Besiege bots will return after this presentation.
And for today's extra content, we have this
nightmare.
It can kill you with his giant teeth, so he is extremely dangerous and we must deal with him.
In the red square, weighing in at 184 blocks, this spinner is perfect for destruction, but it's missing something. Oh, I know. Spouts of fire, because why not? That question now answered by Torch and Scorch. In the blue square, when Horsepower and Torque were making an agreement, Horsepower said, "I'll determine how fast you hit the wall," with Torque responding with, "I'll determine how far you move the wall with you." This bot interjected by saying, "I could move it farther." Here at 229 blocks, Vlad the Impaler. Come on down, ladies and gentlemen, let's fight of the night. Vlad the Impaler versus Torch and Scorch. They waste no time, obviously. Vlad is obviously really jealous to get this fight over with. But Torch and Scorch has lit Vlad already on fire. Oh, but it looks like Vlad has run into Torch and Scorch and lit him on fire instead, which automatically, as they crumble to pieces, as my judging mental voicey thingy goes against them, because Vlad has taken this fight home for two reasons. One, Vlad has lit his opponent on fire after the opponent has lit him on fire, resulting in his win. And second, you're not allowed to use a flamethrower until the last minute of the match, therefore resulting in an overwhelming support for Vlad. Thank you. After half a year in development, the Besiege Bots tourney is finally here and ready to be posted on a weekly basis. We are approaching the Sweet 16 of the tourney to match up the best of the best, to find which bot of Twisted Steel can make the other bot a meal. In the meantime, I'm Fox Speaks signing off, and see you next time on Besiege Bots. Interested in Besiege Bots? Would you like to become the next miracle engineer of the Besiege Bots meta? Audition your bot at besiegebotauditions@gmail.com, and you could become a beloved member of the Besiege Bot community. Rules and skin packs are in the description. Next week on Besiege Bots.